right, y'all. Once again, it's Jay Myrax with Altruwest.com. Appreciate y'all for tapping in to the Altruwest Music Production Podcast. We do this podcast every Thursday at 4 p.m. Central Time. So I appreciate y'all for tapping in for the next hour. This is a live stream that we talk music production stuff, man. We're going to chop it up, music production. You see the title today. Before you upgrade your audio interface, this is a good video to watch for sure. This would be a good one for anyone that's on the market for upgrading their audio interface. I'm gonna show you something that I've done recently in my setup that may change the way you think about your setup in the future. So appreciate y'all for tapping in as always. Somebody said I got no sound. Hold on, no sound? No sound? What y'all mean no sound? Y'all hear no sound at all? What's the word? What's the word? Y'all let me know in the chat. If y'all can't hear me right now, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. No sound. We just tested that. Sound okay? Okay. Cool, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. As you know, sometimes people be saying they can't hear stuff. I don't know. I appreciate y'all. Sound is okay. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, man. So we're going to get it in today. Man. Appreciate y'all for tapping in as always, man. It's a lot to talk about. We also going to do the after show today. The after show going to be a good one. So y'all make sure y'all pull up to Twitch for the after show. That's going to be at 6 p.m. Central Time. So after this show, we'll head over to Twitch. And that's going to be a good one too, because we're going to be talking, it's a lot of stuff to talk about, man. It's a lot of stuff to talk about. Obviously, y'all saw the announcements today with, IK Multimedia and whatnot. I'm going to talk about that later on today. But also, y'all saw some of these other announcements. Man, it's a lot. Omnisphere 3, notably. What else we got? We're gonna talk about a lot of stuff today on the after show, man. So I'm looking forward to that. And also, RIP to D'Angelo, first of all, man. We gonna talk about D'Angelo and the impact he's had on my music as well. Because he's definitely had a big impact on me, and he was definitely one of my favorite musicians of this era. So RIP to D'Angelo and all the greatness that he's provided to us over the years. Definitely, greatly missed. He will be greatly missed in this realm of music, and I can't speak high enough about him and the many times he has gotten me through stuff as far as his music is concerned. So we're gonna be talking about that as well on the after show and many other things, man. Before we get it cracking though, just some administrative stuff, of course. Salute to everybody that's tapped in. Salute to my moderator, Upbeat Media, for holding down the chat as always. Again, we have a cool community, man. So as long as everybody come in respectfully, it's all good, man. But if you get out of line, obviously, Upbeat Media is here to lay the smack down on trolling and whatnot. But my community is not really a troll community. At the end of the day, it's a very I love my community because my community is very intelligent and very thoughtful and helpful, and that's what I try to create as far as the environment is concerned. Is a very helpful, thoughtful environment where people feel like they can say things and get help on things and provide perspectives and different thoughts without trolling. This is not a troll space. So Upbeat Media, thank you for laying down the law and just keeping things in order. And then in the end, there's other stuff that'll be happening during the stream, and Upbeat Media will direct traffic as always. So thank you. Shout out to all my True Sound creators. True Sound Creator is the membership that I have on this channel. It is not a fan club. It is a membership where we talk about deeper topics related to music production, sound design, and other topics. There's over 80 hours of exclusive content in the True Sound Creator membership now. And if you're interested in like a deeper look at some of the stuff that I do in my studio and whatnot, True Sound Creator is the place to be. So let's go back before we get to the Sound Mind. Let's get to True Sound Creator. True Sound Creator. This is the membership here. So if you want to become a True Sound Creator, shout out to all the True Sound Creators. I will acknowledge you all in a second. But we have 3 levels: True Sound Creator, which is the intro level where you get access to all the archival footage, as well as you get special discounts and whatnot on things like my ebook, The Sound Mind, the Amplify plugin by Divided Souls, and early access and updates. You know, we're talking about stuff all the time in True Sound Creator. So some of the stuff that I'm gonna talk about today, True Sound Creators already know what time it is, but there's some new stuff I'm gonna be talking about as well. But True Sound Creators get the first look at what's going on, behind the scenes footage, what we're working on, where we're moving, where we're going. Yeah, True Sound Creators know. So become a member. True Sound Creator Plus gets everything True Sound Creator gets, plus additional discounts on Altruwest.com merchandise, sample pack discounts from MS6 Sound Design, member shoutouts, priority reply to comments, discounts on sample packs from the Produce Market by Snipe Young. And then if you're interested in that full 4K studio guest pass experience where we get 4K live sessions of music creation, that is the place where you will find that multicam 4K footage of studio sessions there in Studio Guest Pass 4K. So if you're interested in any of that, make sure that you head over and become a member. Upbeat Media will provide you a link in the chat. Plus, there's a link in the video description, and there's actually a QR code at the beginning of the video if you're interested. But yeah, you can become a True Sound Creator. I'm gonna say what's up to folks in the chat now. LD40 Productions, what's good? Born Shamir, a True Sound Creator in the house. Born Shamir been getting it cracking, man. Y'all make sure y'all check out Born Shamir and his content. Born Shamir is coming. He been doing what he need to do to get it cracking, man. So respect. Gird Up International Ministries, another True Sound Creator. Yes, sir. Omnisphere 3 licked something serious. We're gonna talk about that in the after show for sure. I definitely looked at that. Appreciate you. DJ Loop Beats, another True Sound Creator. What's good, fam? Appreciate you. Smooth With It, another True Sound Creator. Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you for tapping in. The Observer of Thoughts, salute, man. Get at Nard, another True Sound Creator. He said, you two playing with me and change my name again. Man, 1-800 get at Nard. Yeah, man, appreciate you as always, man. Yeah, you gonna like this string. Get at Nard. You gonna like this one. Let's see here. Who else we got in here? DJ Brightside, what's good with you, fam? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, couple other things before we get to the main content. I know I'm taking a minute to get to the main content, but a lot of stuff, a lot of updates, man, a lot of updates. Next week, we will not do the Thursday podcast because I have some other business to take care of on that day. So we will do a Sunday stream. So it'll be Sunday at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Central Time. So that's when our stream will be next week. It will not be at the normal. What day is that? If I can say the right date. That is. I good looked at that before. So the 26th. So next Sunday on the 26th will be the next stream. It will not be on Thursday the 23rd. So Sunday the 26th at 7 p.m. Central Time will be the stream for next week. So make sure y'all tap into that, and more to come about that. But yeah, man. Appreciate y'all for tapping in as always. This is my birthday week, by the way. I'm gonna tell y'all that now. This is my birthday week, so I'm celebrating my my birthday this week. So thankful to God that I'm um reaching the big age of 43. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So all praises be to God on that. Um, but yeah, okay. One more thing. Um, you said when it's this week. I'm gonna just keep it at that. It's this week. Appreciate y'all though. Some of y'all may have seen a video, a short that I posted today, um, with the announcement of the IK Multimedia Arc On Ear. Some of you saw that video. Some of you haven't seen that video yet, but IK Multimedia just released a new product in their Arc series, which is their advanced, it's advanced room correction. So that's what it's about. It's room correction tools. They have a line of them, which includes the Arc Studio, and the new one, which is the Arc On Ear. And I just wanted to give some context on that because that was like one of the things I was kind of holding back. Of course, I couldn't talk about that until release date, but IK Multimedia did send the Arc On Ear. This is the Arc On Ear. And I'm excited to test this out because what it is a room correction device, but it focuses on more so headphone usage, which is cool because essentially one of the hardest things when you're working away from like your main studio environment is maintaining some level of reliability in the sounds and the monitoring, because headphones can often not translate as expected. So what the Arc On Ear tries to do is provide you with a set of presets that you can flip through that emulate some studio environments. LD40, appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you so much, fam. Appreciate you. But yeah, Arc On Ear gives you a set of presets that emulate different speaker configurations, and it has a whole bunch of different headphones that it is calibrated to that allow it to kind of emulate the frequency curves of certain studio environments and certain monitors. So I'm gonna give you just a quick, some additional information about that so that you have the context of what's going on. I haven't used it much yet. I've used it a little bit. I haven't used it much. Let me get some tea real quick. I haven't used it much yet. I've used it a little bit since it just got here a few days ago. So I've been doing a lot of other stuff. We're going to get into that. But what's cool about it is that it has different monitor configurations for monitors, like if you wanted to emulate the NS10s, or you want to emulate like barefoot monitors or atoms or something like that. It's a cool concept. I'm gonna be testing it out and really putting it through its paces to see how it really performs. I got some travel coming up, so I'm gonna be checking that out. And then I'm gonna test it out on a plane. I'm gonna test it out in like airport and hotel room and just different environments in the wild. You know, because for me, this is not something I would necessarily use in the studio. They have a bigger brother, the Arc Studio, that would be better for like emulating monitors in a studio environment. But this would be cool for like travel. So I want to test it like in the wild and not just, you know, do it in my studio. Because for me, yeah, I have everything that I need in my studio to get what I need. One of the things that I kind of found, and maybe I haven't used it long enough yet, I couldn't find models for the monitors that I use. Because in an ideal situation, what I would be doing is I would select the, I have the Genelec 8040Bs and I have the Aventone mixed cubes. That's my main setup in my studio here. What I would ideally do is I would use the models for the 8040B and the Aventone mixed cubes, and that would be what I would program into this so that I could take that with me. And then I could really see how it translates when I'm away using headphones versus when I'm in the studio. So that would be the ideal use case for me, but they didn't have those. What they do have, which a monitor that I do know very well is the Genelec 1031s. That model does exist in there. So that's where I started. I started out with the Genelec 1031As. That was my introduction to Genelec. So that's one I feel comfortable with, and I know how things translate. And I think there's a lot of parity between the 8040Bs and the 1031As. The 8040Bs is like a successive upgrade from the 1031, but that's one of the models I'll be using. What was missing also for me was like an Oratone type of speaker. So ideally, the list would include like an Oratone. I didn't see an Oratone in there. Maybe I don't know where it's located, but yeah, that would be a suggestion for them already, is like to add a Oratone style speaker, because they had NS10s and I know NS10s, but Oratone is another classic. So that's a standard. So more to come. I'll be giving you guys some feedback, and it'll start in True Sound Creators. True Sound Creators going to get the first looks at what we're doing and how it's going, and then we'll do a summary video once we're all done with all of that. So that's where we're going with this. But shout out to IK Multimedia for sending this over. I'm interested in it for sure. And if you guys are interested in it, I do have a link. I do have an affiliate link in the video description if you want to check it out and find out more about it, because it's an interesting system. And they have, like I said, they have this one and they have one for like the studio as well. So both of those are worth checking out as an option. You know, obviously, I always try to tell folks, try to get high-end monitors, room treatment, and audio interfaces. But I understand for some people that's not a thing. That's not something that they can do. And these type of devices, this is like $250. Something like this could be a way to get access to different reference points at a budget. So like I said, I'm a test it for real in the wild and give you my full synopsis and summary afterwards. But for now, you know, just check it out. Check the website. Check the link that Upbeat Media put in the chat if you're interested in finding out more about the Arc On Ear. All right. Just so you wouldn't wonder, I don't want y'all to wonder, like, man, he didn't say nothing about this. He didn't do a rollout video. I wouldn't do a rollout video like that. That's just, you won't see that here, because before I start really talking about something, I want to have put it through its paces and tested it for real. You know, it's easy to have a initial opinion on it. And I already have some initial opinions, but I think it's too early for me to say whether I think it's good or not yet. I think that it's an interesting concept, and I think it's worth looking into. I like the concept of the technology. I just can't say whether it is a reliable product right now, because I haven't used it. So it's not fair to you guys for me to come out and say, yeah, it's like, go get it. It's really good. If you're interested, obviously, you can support the channel and get it that way. But more to come on that. True Sound Creators, eyes up and headphones on. I'm gonna say it like that. Okay, so today's topic is about audio interfaces. This guy is an audio interface as well. It's a converter and all that stuff. But we talking about today. We talking about big boy audio interfaces in the studio. And for some of you guys might be in the market for a new audio interface. If you are, let me know in the comments or in the chat, if you are on the market for a new audio interface, let me know which one you're on the market for and tell me why. I would like to know what is it about the audio interface that you're looking at that compels you. Everybody has different reasons for getting audio interfaces. If you're on the market for a new one, some of us are, not all of us are, obviously. Some of us already have our stuff down, and we've moved on, and now we're just. I'm about to throw some shots. Some of us now are just collecting a whole bunch of drum machines. Now I'm gonna say it like that. I know. Just laugh. It's okay. It's not. Don't take it too seriously. Obviously, you do what you want to do in your studio. But for those of you that are on the market for a new audio interface, let me know which one and why. I am currently in the process of doing an upgrade in the studio. I've started it. I've made a lot of progress. True sound creators have seen. I recently upgraded my system to be centered around the UFX3, which is the RME interface. So let me pull up the UFX3 so you guys just are on the same page as me with that. UFX3, I know I've talked about it before. I said that was one of the things I was gonna do, and I aim to be a man of my word. That's my intention. That's what I try to practice here. So let me see here. Let's go. Where you at? Here you go. This guy. So this is UFX3. So this is my main interface now. This is what I got set up now. Let's talk about that a little bit. So UFX3 is a 188 channel, 24-bit, 192 kilohertz USB 3 audio interface. It is a MADI enabled interface. We're gonna talk about more about that, but this now gives me the ability to expand into up to 94 ins and 94 outs. Amazing. Considering that I was for such a long time limited to basically 18 ins and outs, or 18 ins. I had a little bit more outs, but I think it was 18 in, 20 out on my Apollo. So to have the ability now to go up to 94, oh boy, what a game changer! What a game changer! So this interface also offers the ability to work in standalone. So you can record into this device. You can have a USB drive connected to it and record into it standalone. So you can get individual tracks recorded to a USB device with their Durex system, which is cool. That's not why I bought it, but that feature is that's next level. Being able to record on that thing standalone without a computer. Super dope, super dope. This also has ADAT I/O, AES I/O, and MADI, which makes it easy to integrate in a professional studio, right? So I think that's one of the main reasons I got it, is because it has the I/O that I would want in a professional studio. And I am running a professional studio here. Everything about it is set up professionally, and I intend to continue to level it up. Okay. MADI. I chose MADI, M-A-D-I, right? MADI is a protocol that is basically built around fiber optics. And the reason I chose a MADI enabled interface is mainly because of the limitations of protocols like USB and ADAT, which kept me locked into how I could arrange my studio. It has some very specific cable lengths that are very limiting for a studio the size that I have and larger, actually, right? My studio is not that large, but it's large enough where some of the cable runs and some of the distances may be beyond the scope of the protocols like USB and ADAT. So one of the problems, like with USB, for example, USB 2.0 has a maximum cable length of 5 meters, which is about 16.4 feet, right? That's USB 2.0, right? So I have, if we go, let me go overhead. So my audio interface is right here. My computer's here, my audio interface is here. So the distance between here to over there, let me point to the real thing here, right? The distance to that, you see that rack right there? So from where I am to where that rack is, it's about 30 feet if I go along the walls and not straight across. Obviously, if I go straight across, like it's a shorter distance, but I'm not putting wires underneath where my chairs are rolling and where I'm walking and stuff. So that's not happening, right? So it's about 30 feet if I want to do it and wire it the way that I want to wire it. So because of that, USB 2.0 won't work. And USB 3.0 is even worse because USB 3.0 has a maximum cable length of 9.8 feet. So that already is like a no-go. ADAT, similarly, ADAT has a maximum length of about 16 feet. So 16 feet, again, that's only going to get me to about right over here. Like maybe right in here, right? So I would have to have my interface or whatever else I'm going to run over here if I'm going to use ADAT. And that's not what I wanted at all. So MADI, that protocol has a maximum cable length of 100 meters. 100 meters. 100 meters. Not 5, not 10, not 3, 100 meters. That made a big difference for me because it enabled a lot of new stuff in the setup that I was limited by previously. I no longer have to have everything located right here. Everything doesn't have to be right there anymore, which is amazing. So what it does now, because I'm running MADI now, it allowed me to move where my MP8D, which is my Antelope audio 8-channel converter, right? That converter has a MADI interface. So I'm thankful that I bought that. I bought a converter that had MADI already, because now what it allowed me to do is put the MP8D over here in this rack. So let me go back over there to that rack. Right? You see this rack right here. Like you see, like I got power conditioner, I got a patch bay. So the silver rack underneath that patch bay at the top, that is the MP8D. That is now being used to connect all my synths that are back on this wall. So you see the ATC1 is over there now. And you also see, like, of course, we talked about the SS6 and having that, having these synths back here. Go overhead. These synths back here were on the switch. You know, I was using the SS6, and that's a cool setup. Don't get me wrong. But in the ideal case, I would be able to hear everything at the same time and play everything at the same time. I don't have to switch things. So having the MP8D over here now allows me to do that. So now that the MP8D is there, all my synths are connected over there. So now I can play synths, like I can go over here and play And you can't hear it, but let me turn off the headphones here. Yeah. Stop it. No switching. No switching required, right? Same thing if I want to go to the SB1200. Right? That's all there. So everything is connected now into the UFX3, which is great, and I'll show you the total mix a little bit more so we can see that, but this is a big deal. This is a big deal for me, like just in terms of the arrangement and the ergonomics of the setup now. So I no longer have to use the SS6 to handle the stuff back there. I still got some cleanup to do. You can see some of the cables. My cables ain't cleaned up yet. We're still in progress. It's a work in progress, but we got a lot of it cleaned up now. So that's a big deal though for me. So I'm still using the SS6. So don't get me wrong. I'm still using the SS6, but now I'm using the SS6 differently. So that Franklin SS6 now is only being used for my lesser used synthesizers. You probably know which one of my lesser used synthesizers are if you've been watching this channel. So my lesser used synthesizers would be something like a Hydrasynth, the Blofeld. Those are still on the SS6. And I also put the XV5050 on the SS6, and the SS6 is normal to the XV5050. So I mainly am listening to the XV5050 now, but if I want to use the Hydrasynth or the Blofeld, I can do so. Get it, no, appreciate the super chat. He said, happy early birthday. I just got an RME MADI face connected into my Pulse 16 and running with my Apollo as an aggregate device. I have 24 IO, looking at grabbing a second Pulse 16 to give me third. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Congratulations, fam. Congratulations. Hopefully, if you got that MADI face, you used the coupon code for the 15% off. Hopefully you did, because 15% off is something special. But yeah, congratulations, fam. Appreciate the super chat as well. So we're gonna get into a little bit more of that. So essentially now, I have expanded my setup a lot. And one of the things that I like about this RME setup is that, like I said, it has MADI, but it still has ADAT as well. And I'm still using ADAT. What I'm using ADAT for now is I'm actually using my, I didn't get rid of my Apollo. I've had the Apollo for over a decade now, and it served me well, but I just got limited. I am now using the Apollo as a ADAT interface into the UFX. So let's head over to, let's head over here real quick. Where we at? Boom. So let's move over here. Okay, so what's happening is I have, okay, this is the total mix. This is total mix. Total mix is the RME setup for all of their interfaces, right? So this is great. It's an expanded, it has you see a whole bunch of IO here because basically my UFX has 94 inputs, 94 outputs. So it's a lot going on here. But if you look at back here, I still have the Apollo console here. And if you look at my channels here, I haven't renamed these yet because I haven't rerouted everything. But essentially now the first 8 channels of my Apollo are being routed out to ADAT. So anything that goes into the Apollo now comes out ADAT into the UFX. So for example, one of the things that I have connected to the one of the things I have still connected to the Apollo is the Motif ES. So if I want to use the Motif ES now, it's actually on this first channel here. So I'll rename all this stuff, but essentially now Motif goes into here, comes out ADAT, and goes into the UFX. So then I capture it here. So this channel that says Motif ES at the top here, that is an ADAT signal. So you see my ADAT signals here now, right? These are the ADATs. You see AES here and all that stuff. We'll get to the AES part. But this right here now allows me to use the Apollo as a 8-channel interface and send 8 channels of digital signal directly into the UFX. So I don't have to buy another converter right now to get more channels, because I was looking at some other stuff from Apollo, or not Apollo. I was looking at some other stuff from RME, but I can confirm that if you have an ADAT capable audio interface that allows you to route signal to the ADAT out, then you could still keep your old audio interface. And if you upgrade it to something that has more channels, like a RME or an Antelope Audio or something like that, that has way more channels, essentially you could go into this via ADAT and get at least 8 more channels, which is amazing. That's amazing to me. That's a game changer. That is an absolute game changer for me. So I didn't get rid of my audio interface. I kept the audio interface, and now we Voltroned it. And that's what I was talking to you guys about with the MPC. That's exactly what I was talking to you guys about with the MPC. Like, Voltron your system. Don't just buy a new thing every time. Voltron your system. So I now have all of the gear hooked up in a way that's way more comfortable, that allows me to run much more simultaneous stuff. Like, I'm running 8 outs out my MPC 4000, mix out from my SB 1200, stereo out from my S3000, stereo out from my Motif, stereo out from my XV5050, analog sense and digital sense are all connected as well. ATC1, all that stuff, Rhodes, all of that stuff is connected. But I didn't get rid of the old piece of gear. I didn't get rid of the old piece of gear just because I got something new. I'm using the old piece of gear to expand what I'm doing. So make sure that if you have something that already is working, like especially an ADAT capable audio interface, don't just be so quick to get rid of it just because you got a new one. Keep it, because you could use it to expand your setup. So the other thing that I'll show you, let me go overhead real quick. So on my desk here, and we're still kind of messy over here, but over here now, I have my Pure 2. My Pure 2 used to be in this rack over here. I relocated that over here. So the Pure 2 is over here. The reason the Pure 2 is over here is because this is what I monitor my whole setup through. This is the mastering grade converter that connects directly to my monitors via the monitor controller. So I want the Pure 2 to be closest to the monitors as far as like the setup and ergonomics are concerned, right? So that is the master clock for the studio. That is the master output that I hear. So everything that I do is monitored through the Pure 2. That is connected to the UFXIII via AES. So previously I had it connected to the Apollo via SPDIF, but RME comes with AES, which is better actually. It's a more professional format. Like SPDIF to me is like more of that is the consumer grade digital, like SPDIF and ADAT or optical, and AES is definitely set up more for like a professional use case. It has the locking mechanisms and all that like you would have with the XLR cable, right? So I'm running AES from the UFX into the Pure 2, and then that's what my monitor's here. But then the Pure 2 is also a mastering converter. So when I want to run anything through analog stuff, like you see the Zulu on the desk, and I'm got some other stuff that I'm working on, but the mastering chain will be right here, and essentially it'll come out of the Pure 2 through the mastering chain back into the Pure 2. Pure 2 is going out AES into the UFX system. So that's all digital at that point. And then I can record the master through there. So this setup now is now connected in the way that I want it. There's some other things I had to do to make this work, and I talked about this in True Sound Creators. We talked about the AV access stuff. We talked about the USB extenders, like the Ethernet extenders and whatnot. So there's some Ethernet extensions being done in here for like my KVM stuff, and also because my MP8D has a software controller or software interface that also requires a USB connection. So I have a USB extender that goes over Ethernet that is connected on this side, so that I technically have a USB MIDI interface and and the other USB connection for the software controller, right? So those are both connected on that side, and that is working flawlessly. So I got now MADI and Ethernet, so fiber optic and Ethernet running my long cable runs. And I see what y'all saying in there, man. Yes. I have arrived and I am now a snob. No. No, it's not like that. But I'm gonna tell you, ADAT is a 90s format. So we have to just keep in mind, ADAT came out in the 90s. Like that protocol came out in the 90s. So it is a limited protocol. It has served it has served its purpose as well, and it continues to serve its purposes. I am still using ADAT, but let's not be blind to the penalties of ADAT. ADAT, when you go into higher sample rates, like if you go past 48K, you're gonna immediately lose half of the channels. A lot of people don't talk about that, but that's a penalty of ADAT. It's like when you go to, you go to 88.1 or 88.2, or if you go to 96K, you're gonna lose half of your channels. So ADAT is an old protocol. So being able to go to MADI and not have that penalty, amazing. Fiber optic, right? MADI is fiber optic at the end of the day. The music industry, music tech tends to love to repackage protocols and call it something else. But essentially, one thing I can say about MADI is I bought a duplex fiber optic cable for $20, a 30 foot long one. And if I bought like a 3 foot long one, if I bought a 3 foot long one, ADAT cable, it would be way more than that. It would be way more than that. So yeah, and AES, same thing, man. AES is definitely just a better protocol than SPDIF. So yes, we're not gonna act like it's all the same. It is not all the same. And they all have their use cases, but I think once you start expanding and growing your studio, you'll start to find that the limitations of some of these older protocols, especially, they're too confined, and I think the future in music is going to be more so of, I mean, obviously for those that want to do AI is it. But if you still want to do analog and you still want to have a hardware based studio, then we got to go past just standards like ADAT and SPDIF at this point. That's why MADI and Dante are a big deal now, because just the ability to network and send audio via IP and all that stuff. This is where things are. And in music tech, I feel like we're slow to upgrade, but I will tell you, like in the broadcast domain, right? IP-based solutions are very much the wave. Very much the wave. So I think those of us that are serious about our craft and can see past just the I make beats part will recognize that it's important to understand and have command over these different protocols beyond just like the standard analog, the standard, you know, basic digital stuff that we've been doing. Cause I know a lot of folks got excited about USB audio transfer, audio recording on the MPC Live 3, which is cool. But we just talked about the limitations of USB. So for those of you that got a MPC Live 3 and say you didn't want to be tethered, USB 3.0 is a tether. Right? USB 3.0, what do we say it's limited to as far as the cable length? 9.8 feet. That is a 9.8 foot tether. Smooth with it. Appreciate the super chat. He says, can I use MADI between UFX and Octomic? Good question. Does Octomic, I don't remember if Octomic has MADI, right? Let's look at it real quick. I don't think Octomic has MADI, actually. Let's go. Boom. This is Octomic, right? This is a RME's 8-channel interface. It has AES. It is primarily an ADAT. Yeah. You see, here's the connectivity here. You got XLR and TRS. You got 8 line outputs. You got 2 ADAT. So this is when we were talking about that penalty, right? That's why they give you 2 sets of ADAT so that you can get the full 8 when you go to when you go to higher sample rates. You have a AES and sync input, and then you have the AES EBU IO as well. There is no MADI on this one. If you want to go MADI, you need a different converter for that. This is one of the ones. Here's the ones I was looking at, right? I'm gonna show you so you can kind of understand what direction I was going to. So I was going to buy this one. This is the 1620 Pro. So this one is this one has MADI and it also has Dante. Or no, this one has Milan. There's the other one has Dante. It's the D that has Dante. This one. So this one has MADI, IO, and Dante, right? So you get 16 and 20. So 16 analog to digital, and then 20 digital to analog. So if you want to go MADI and you need more inputs, this is the way to go. So you'd go M1620, and then you would add something like you'd add the Detox 16, for example, right? Let me show you the Detox 16. You'd add one of these so that you would go out like the D sub into this, and then that would convert you into analog like XLR, for example, right? So you would use something like this if you wanted to go MADI. That's their MADI solution. And then they have other ones too. The M32s, M32 Pro, all of that stuff. These are also MADI as well. These give you 32, right? So this would be the ideal situation is you have the M32AD and the M32DA. So AD is going to be your analog to digital, and then the M32DA is digital to analog when you need to go back analog, right? So you need one of each of those if you want to do 32 in each direction. And MADI supports 64 total channels. So This would be the big boy, but if you don't have money for that, and I know I didn't have money for it, so that's why we didn't do it. But something like this might be a good situation as well. The M6 1620 Pro D, if you want more future proof with Dante. You see the price there though. Still, that's a big boy price right there. So that ain't gonna be for everybody. Octamic is fine if you just need 8 channels. Like, it's about half the price, right? Octamic is fine. So I think they got a fair price if you look at it, because Octamic is 8 channels. It's 16. This is 16 and 20. So this is a great setup. It's double the price, but you're gonna greatly expand the IO, and you have more flexibility in where you can put this. So and because it is line input and line outputs, like it is a very flexible setup here. So that's an option as well. And of course, like, we're on RME-USA.com. You get 15% off if you purchase using the coupon code Altruwest. So that can be an option for sure. That can be an option. Good question. Good question. But yeah, man, we are building. Hopefully that was helpful to some of y'all that are on the market and thinking about upgrading and like are not sure about certain aspects of what to do and how it's all going to work together. Of course, this is a very complex setup. Like what I just showed you is a very complex setup. And for some people, it's just going to be better to just have a very simple setup, something even just like a UCX2 or something. That is a very robust interface that has some complex routing potential, but it has enough all-in-one to just do what you need to do. So something like that, or of course a Babyface, right? Babyface is another one. If you just need something very simple, Babyface can cover you. But it's a very complex setup. So I understand that might be like, man, why do you have all that? Why are you doing all that? This is a very much planned setup, and it came with a lot of research and understanding and knowing how I want to set things up. So, and this is the power of the consultations that I do, the studio consultations. When I do studio consultations, we talk about stuff like this. So if you're needing help with setting up your studio and configuring it in a way that works and gets the results and allows you to work with the tools you want to work with, I do recommend that you sign up and you go to the website and get one of the consultations. Order a consultation with me, and we will get you sorted. We will get you right. I have a lot of experience doing this. I set up a lot of different people's stuff. I consult with a lot of people. I have people calling me all the time still, like, some of the top, man, like seriously, like, people like Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and, Benjamin Wright, and people call me all the time for tech advice and tech information, man. Trust me. I'm a professional. I'm a tech. I'm also a music producer, obviously. I'm also a sound designer. But if you need tech help or you need other type of advice, make sure you go to our website and, get the help that you need. I can definitely help you out there. Upbeat Media will put a link where you can go if you're interested in consultation with us, studio consultation, project studio consultation. Upbeat Media will put a link in the chat, and also there's a link in the video description. Get it, Nar, appreciate the super chat. He says, are you running a 30-foot MADI cable in inner duct or some sort of conduit? So we haven't finalized all of the routing yet, as far as like cable management and whatnot, because there's another thing that I'm going to test. So right now I'm just doing a 30-foot cable because I wanted to make sure that just the standard MADI cable would work fine. So I'll just have a 30-foot. You might be able to see, like, there's an orange cable behind me, right? You can kind of see the orange cable back there. So that's just that. There's no conduit right now, because it's kind of a temporary setup. What I plan on doing next is setting it up where I go from MADI to Ethernet, and then I'm gonna go over Ethernet. And then at that point, once I get that routed, then we'll go into additional things like VLAN and whatnot and have it managed on a switch. So then it's going through the walls because the house is set up with Ethernet. So that would be a better way of actually sending the signals in the end is via the Ethernet that's already here and just managing it through a router or a switch, I should say, not a router, managing it through a VLAN. And then that way all the signals can go where they need to go. And I don't have any cable run inside of here, right? So more to come on that, True Sound Creators. We got more to come. I will be providing more details and insights on that, but that's where we are, man. Like I said, hopefully that was helpful. We getting ready to switch gears now. Appreciate y'all that tapped in for this last hour. We are getting ready for the after show at 6 p.m. Central Time. That is in an hour on Twitch. So make sure that you come ready, man. We go, like I said, we gonna talk about a few things. Like there's the Omnisphere conversation. We also probably need to talk about these new barefoots that came up. We gotta show some love to D'Angelo, of course. But yeah, come to the after show over on Twitch. After show is gonna be cracking, man. It's gonna be a good time in about an hour, man. So man, if you got value out of this video, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all y'all that have supported the platform. We got to 16K subscribers and we will continue to grow, man. More stuff to come, more partnerships to come, a lot more in the works, man. I've been working for the community, man. Let's get it cracking. If you need help, of course, reach out to me on my website, altruwest.com. But yeah, man, we about to set it off. We are done for today. Like I said, next week we will have our stream on Sunday, not Thursday. It'll be Sunday at what I say 7 p.m. So 7 p.m. Central Time. So make sure that you are there. Make sure. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. Did I say that right? Yeah, 7 p.m. Central Time on next Sunday. Be there, be squared, man. Appreciate y'all as always. I will see the rest of y'all at the after show. So make sure you get your drinks, get your food, get what you need. We're gonna be hanging out. It's gonna be good, man. All right, man. Until next time, peace and God bless.